a lot of us just want to focus on the design and we don't really think about
Mhm.
anything else. But then if you decide that you want to transition into working for yourself, there's a lot of
Mhm.
skills that you have to learn. What's up, beautiful and miserable creatives? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have my friend Victor, who is a founder of a design studio based in Shanghai. Come join me for an interview. Let's get behind the scene of having to run a design studio and see what kind of challenges that he has and what kind of lessons that maybe we can learn from him. Let's welcome Victor.
Hello.
Hello, finally connected. Hey.
Think it was. I opened my VPN. I guess
Oh,
I need VPN for this.
oh really? Zoom call is
Yeah.
VPN. Interesting. So how are you?
Good. Good. And you?
Good
Long
as
time.
well. Yeah, a long time. I think the
Like
last
what?
time we talked was
Now?
in the designer meeting, wasn't it?
Yeah. You were
Yeah.
in you are in UK right now.
Yeah, right now I am in the UK. I'm traveling
Oh, you were
around.
in Thailand. No? Something I
Uh-huh.
saw. No.
Yeah, so I went to Thailand from Shanghai and then from Thailand to here.
Wow. But you are. You're gonna live there.
No, no, it's only gonna be a couple of months and then probably gonna go to another country next. We'll see, we'll see.
What kind of that's
I'm living a very free life.
or you earn a lot of money and now you're having fun.
Freelancing, yeah. I mean, freelancing is fun. This is my first time doing it. It's very exciting for me.
Yeah. You're very brave to do this. I tried in the past to do this, and it's super difficult, I think.
It is,
But
yeah.
yeah,
It takes a lot of energies.
yeah.
Right. Welcome to the
Let's get
show.
started.
Let's start with you talking a little bit about yourself, introducing about yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for inviting me. So yeah, maybe a short introduction about myself. So actually, I was born in Spain. I have Chinese parents. My mom is from Shanghai. My father from Taiwan. So yeah, they immigrate to Spain, and I was born there. So I came back to China like 10 years ago, and I started a design studio back in 2016. And we are right now 8 people, and we focus on brand identity design.
Mm,
Yeah. So we have done many projects since through those years, almost like 100 projects, more than 100 projects, and maybe more than 60 clients. And right now we've been working with some big clients like Starbucks and Kimberly Clark. So Starbucks, we probably done more than 50 projects with them, already 3 4 years working with them, and we are doing all their sub brands in China and all their visual identities in China. And also
yeah.
for Kimberly Clark, we do a lot of packaging design for them.
Mm,
Yeah, so that's introduction about us.
nice. I saw your Starbucks roast. They're really amazing because every time you finish, you will post them on WeChat, right? And I go through them. They're really, really good. You said you started since 2016. That's a long time. So what did you do
Yes.
before starting a studio? Were you a freelancer?
Yeah, I did a little bit of everything. So I did freelance. I did freelance for agencies, freelance for, like friends that wanted a logo or something. And also I work for many agencies, like for marketing agencies, for bigger studios, for smaller studios. Also, I work for a packaging company doing packaging design. And also I started my own brand, like I partnership with some friends, and we
Mm.
started a brand. We were selling kids sunglasses, so it was a failed startup, let's say,
Fail.
like many startups, I guess. So
Mm,
but it was a really good experience, so we get
mm.
to know a bit like how a in-house design team works, right? So I think it was really helpful. Yeah.
I guess it is really helpful because it looks like you've done full-time job and then you transform to a freelancer, and then you
Mhm.
eventually you have your studio, you have people working for you. What do you
Yes.
think?
So
Yeah, it's like, go ahead.
sorry. Yeah, so I mean, it was not really. I mean, when I was full time working for companies, I always been curious, and I was also really fast working. So
Mm,
I always had somehow a bit of freelance, gigs or work
mm,
at the same time. So I will finish like my full time work projects, and then in my free time or in weekends I will do like let's say work for friends or for some freelance clients and stuff. So always I've been doing that. So when I left the companies, I already had some clients. So it was a more like a transition rather than okay, let's leave the job and now we start from zero. So it was more smooth, let's say. Yeah.
yeah, it does sounds like something maybe more designer should do rather than, oh yeah, I'm sick of working, I'm just gonna quit and then start working for yourself. That would be quite intimidating, isn't it?
I think depends on the person. Like some people like to focus on one thing, but
Mm,
I've been always really probably curious or fast paced or something. So I always did many things at the same time. Yeah.
mm. Very capable man you are.
Not sure.
What's the biggest difference between working for yourself and working for an agency?
Yeah, good question. So working for agency, I think is a bit more simple for sure. Because at the end you have one job and
Mm,
you're focused on doing one thing, let's say, even though it's complicated. But if you're hired as a designer, let's say you need to be one of the best designers, right?
mm,
Try to do your work best as possible. But when you're running a studio, you need to do many, many things, even cleaning the office, cleaning, doing all the things that you normally don't do. So, for example, business skills,
mm.
all these management skills, doing the finance, sales, marketing, everything. So
Yeah.
at the end, you have to do so many things that are sometimes are a bit, how do you say, contradictory. So, for example, when you're doing design, you need to be really careful about the details. But when you're doing, let's say, business, sometimes you don't need to take care of the details, and maybe it's the wide picture that you need to pay more attention, and then maybe the long-term thing, or I don't know. So it's something that is really difficult to balance. I remember when I started,
Mm,
uh, I remember like when I need to focus on the designs, crafting the visuals, the logos and stuff, then suddenly you need to get out and try to talk to the client, but in a let's say in a more non-emotional way. It's really really hard, because when the client says I don't like any of those, it's like hurting hurting your feelings, right?
yeah,
So
it's
it's
like
hard
someone
to
saying your child
oh
is ugly.
yeah, 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 yeah. So that's super super hard, I think.
Mm,
And to be, let's say, balanced and try to be more having a, outside perspective, I think is it's really difficult.
mm. This is, I think, what most creatives lack of right now because a lot of us just want to focus on the design and we don't really think about
Mhm.
anything else. But then if you
Yes.
decide that you want to transition into working for yourself, there's a lot of
Mhm.
skills that you have to learn from starting to be a freelancer while you're working for full time. It might sound unethical, but this is how we learn stuff, and then eventually we can go out and do our own thing. Out of all the
Mhm.
things that you just mentioned, you have to do design, you have to focus on the big picture, you have to talk to client, you have to sell, you have to present. Do you have to present your work?
Yeah, I mean, right now not so much,
Oh, okay,
because
okay.
we have a creative director, but there's still some projects I need to present.
Mm,
But I mean, 1 year ago, I was presenting all the projects.
okay.
Um, but right now we hire a creative director, so uh, finally I can delegate this part because I don't present so well. I don't speak so well. So I mean, my mother tongue is Spanish, so English and Chinese is, let's say, so I can speak basic,
Uh,
but so that's why, yeah. So
it's
yeah, I had
okay.
to do some, and yeah.
You have the people, you have the right people for the job. That's the most important. So like out of all
Mhm.
the aspects that you just mentioned, what do you think is the most challenging part for you when you're just getting started?
Good question. I think everyone is different. So for me, for sure, was the communication skills
Mm,
and let's say the sales. Try to get to the big clients, for example, like Starbucks. So I think that was the most challenging thing because I started here in China without anything. So we didn't have money, we didn't have network, so it was zero. Like normally you will start with something already, money or
mm,
network, but I had nothing. So I had to start from like really, really from the bottom.
mm.
So
So,
that at that level, I mean, you just have few things to compete. For example, price. If you make it cheap, of course you will gain more clients. So so that was my advantage, let's say, to make it cheap and good. So slowly like this you can climb, step by step to reach a better client, let's say, or bigger projects.
mm, right. You mentioned Starbucks. Could you share with us how you were able to get to that client in the first place?
So it was kind of easy. Like I think, of course, before having Starbucks or a big client, for me it was a dream to have a big client because every person I ask, like person that had a studio, they will say, yeah, 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 we got it as a referral or a friend recommend to us,
Mm,
and it was like, what? So easy? But I mean, we got it in the same way, like a friend recommend to us.
referral.
But of course, there's so many things before that that makes it, at the end, yeah, it's a recommendation of a friend. But before that, for example, we went through many failed big clients. So for example, we try to work with Jingdong, JD.com is an e-commerce platform, and we fail, let's say, and we work for many other big brands, and we fail, not fail, but at least we tried to do one project and didn't go through, and we didn't continue to do projects with them. Probably because we were too small, we didn't know how to communicate with them, etc. And we tried to, let's say, maintain our own thinking or approach without even thinking about why they want these kind of things. So
Mm,
we were not thinking like a big agency, or we didn't care too much about how a big brand works. So probably that's why we fail in many ways. And with all these fails, I think we learn a lot. So when Starbucks reach us, we are more prepared than before, and about how to talk with them.
mm,
So in case of Starbucks, my approach was to be honest as possible. So in the first meeting with Starbucks, try to just say what we do the best and what we don't do.
mm,
So for them was really clear, and I try to set up the things we try to, let's say, maintain, or at least our work culture. For example, we don't do overtime, and we don't do free pitches. So for them was quite kind of really, they were quite impressed about this. Because normally a studio won't say these kind of things. So we were quite kind of transparent.
mm,
So I guess this fits with their culture also. So at the end, when their culture and your culture fits in some way, I think that will make a long-term partnership. What helped me to get Starbucks, it was to push myself to meet new people every week, for example. So like this, my network will be more broad. And when someone recommends me Starbucks, I'm probably be like when they need to decide if they have to work with us, probably they will ask some people, some people from the same industry, like, hey, should we work with Victor? So
Mm.
when you have somehow a network or a community in the industry, it's always good. It's like a social proof. So like this, you can have somehow more confidence or more trust at least.
Mm. You
Yeah,
see,
that's
designers, you
more
hear that we need to get more social. We need to go out there and
yes,
meet people.
yes,
A
yes.
lot of us just hate doing that. It's not an easy job for us.
I still hate it. I still hate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm very introvert. So, but introvert, I don't think it means that you don't meet people. I think introverts is you can meet people for sure, but I think you get really tired when you meet a lot of
Yeah,
people during a
yeah.
day.
You need to recharge
An
yourself.
extrovert, I think you gain more energy while you meet
Mm,
people, and an
mm,
introvert is the opposite. But still, you can meet people. So I think introverts, what we need to do is to select the people we need to meet and select
mm,
the events we need to go, and probably just try to do 100%, to try to put the 100% effort. And like this, I think you can get better results.
mm. Yeah. So from the sound of it, at the beginning of starting this studio, you were quite hands-on with projects, right? What do you think is the most challenging part of doing one project for you?
You mean for me?
Yeah, because
uh
some
yeah.
designer find it really difficult to maybe do research. Maybe they find it difficult to do
You
the
mean which
strategy
part
part.
or which
Yeah.
stage?
Mm,
Okay, let me think. uh yeah, I don't there's no special difficult part, I think. In the beginning, when we had smaller clients, the strategy part we didn't do too much.
mm,
So I think we from the beginning, we almost every type of client we had, we tried to adapt to the situation. So right now we try to do more strategy, more research, but in the beginning with smaller clients, not so much. So I think we've been adapting more or less to each types of clients. Uh, but of course, I think the challenge is the bigger client, the bigger challenge, because it's more complex in terms of people involved. Like bigger clients, you have so many people involved. So you will have, like, let's say the marketing team involved. You have the CMO or CEO and CEO's
the
wife or something.
C-suite.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, a lot of people involved, like shareholders and stuff. So I think that's more and more complicated when we're doing smaller clients. Like there's only one boss, and that's much easier. But right now, I think it's bigger clients. I think it's super complicated to get to understand really well their needs, right?
Mm,
I think that's because somehow design always there's some personal preferences involved. There's some personal, let's say, um, expectations also. Like for one person, maybe they like blue, or for another person likes red. So there's a lot of personal feelings and preferences involved. So it's hard to get an understanding always.
mm. How do you deal with that kind of situation if like multiple decision makers like I like red, I like blue? There must be a solution that you can.
Yeah, first of all, I think there's no other way than just communicate, talk with them a lot. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's
Mm,
just to talk about small stuff, because you cannot ask the client, yeah, which color you prefer. Are you sure you
mm,
want blue, or are you sure you want red? Why you want red? Probably they don't know how to answer this. And
mm,
probably they didn't think about, like, what should I say? What kind of tone of red, right? Like it's really difficult. So at the end, I think there's only one way, is just to talk with them in a normal way. And so with the time, they will tell you more and more about themselves,
Mm,
about what they think, or even about their relationship with other colleagues. And sometimes when we have, let's say, when we fail in a project,
mm,
or we let's say we do a project and they are not satisfied, most of the time is because we didn't understand well the the client, and sometimes we assume too quick, not too early, that we understand already the project. But that's something difficult. I think
yeah.
you never get to know 100%. So I think you have to put a lot of time, and with the experience at the end, you know what kind of questions you should ask to get more information.
Yeah, it's to
So
ask
most of
the
the
right
time is to,
question.
yeah, it's most of the time is just to ask questions and to ask why, and not to assume a lot of things and not to guess too much things, right? So that's super important. Even now, I still struggle with this. Sometimes I assume too much, and it's not good. It's not good.
Yes, well, human like to assume stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Yeah,
are human, so yeah.
yeah, we are only human. I have encountered clients that like enjoy telling us, I don't like this color, I don't like that color, I don't like this font. Maybe make this bigger, make that bigger. At the beginning, though, at the beginning of my career, I just get like I either get really annoyed by it and then just do whatever they say, and then end up doing millions of changes just because they say so. Yeah, but now
Yeah.
I learned
I mean,
that
that's super normal.
it's yeah, but
Mhm,
now I learned that it's not about what they say that they like, they don't like. I will ask them, why is
mhm,
it do you think this needs to be that?
mhm,
Ask to the bottom of it, and then you'll be able to discover maybe it's not because of the color, it's just because of the
mhm,
contrast in the design. It's
mhm.
simple as that. So yeah,
Yes.
there's different approach to
But
this.
yeah. So for example, when we get stuck or we get feedback like this, like for example, yeah, we don't like any of those, this is completely wrong or something, we try to, let's say, stop and probably do a session of strategy research with references with them,
Mm,
also to review all the, let's say, all the design options we did, and see why we ended in that situation, right? So to just to review, recap, and prepare some reference, I think that's super helpful. But
yeah.
even with that, we had few times that we had to, at the end, we had to end the project. We had to fire the client, let's say, and yeah, it was a really hard
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you, have you ever fired any clients? So you have fired some clients.
Yes, few.
How
Now
how do you
less.
how do you do it?
How to do it? How to
Yeah.
fire client?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, fire the client is easy. What I will say is, like, we are probably not the best fit for the project, and probably maybe there's a better designer that, or design studio that can do this.
Mm.
I'm open to recommend you another one and stuff. But we probably cannot achieve what you're looking for.
How do you
Even
go about building trust then?
building trust, I think, is first of all, understand their needs,
Mm,
then try to adapt your approach to them, to really understand what they're looking for apart from design, because sometimes it's something else. They want design, but they want something else, and you don't
mm.
stop, and so these kind of things will gain trust. And I think in the past when we fail is because we jump directly into executing and not really understanding the client. Like,
You obviously have a lot of clients in the past, and have you ever experienced downtowns in your business? Like maybe there are some periods of time that you don't have any clients. How do you go through those times?
downtimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we just going through a downtime right now. So yeah, with the lockdown, like after the lockdown here in China, I think I think most of the industry, right? So we are going through a downtime. I think first of all, you need to assume there's gonna be downtimes for sure.
Mm,
Uh, that's for sure. And I think at the end is to be consistent in during your, let's say, when you are when you have ups and downs, you need to be always consistent. Like if you work hard 2 days and you relax 3 days, I don't think that's good.
mm,
I think you need to work hard every day and to be consistent. So then when you have downtimes, those downtimes, it's not so downtimes because you have already a routine or you have
mm,
already a habit. So
mm,
for example, with sales, what normally happens with freelancers is that, or many studios, is that you will do sales when when you have more free time, and when you are super busy you say, okay, now I'm super busy, I have so many projects, I'm not gonna do sales, right? So but that happens, that will result in a so when sorry, my daughter, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sorry, my daughter's here. Yeah, they are.
Hello.
Say hi, say hi.
Hi.
What? A friend. Say hi.
Her English is
Hi.
good.
Yeah, she watches a lot of YouTube.
This is how we learn English.
Right. So yeah, I was saying, so mostly a lot of designers, what they do, yeah, is when they are busy, they don't do sales. So that you will have a moment that is because the sales is not something super quick.
Mm,
So you will end up always like this, right? You will have a lot of time without clients.
mm.
Sometimes you will be so busy that you won't have time for sales. So you need to have a more straight line or more stable line. So you need to do a little bit of sales every day,
Just be consistent with
so
it.
yeah, and then you will
Mm,
have more consistency.
mm.
So I think, like for example, with our downtime right now, with after the lockdown, uh I think we more or less being consistent. We had big clients in the past and medium clients and small clients. So what happened now in the downtime is that small clients disappear. But because we had somehow, yeah, bigger clients as medium clients, somehow we managed to survive. So that's a good thing, not to put all the eggs in one basket, right? So
Yeah.
that's the thing. I think being consistent is super important.
Mm. I do apologize because I am not Zoom premium right now, and the time left
You have
is
one
5
hour
minutes.
or something.
Yeah, so
5 minutes?
do you
Oh my
mind
God.
if I end the call and then start a new call?
Sure.
Yeah, and then I
Okay.
can upgrade this later today.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, I
Bye.
will send you a new link. Just a second.
Okay. Okay. They have to know.
Mm.
You were not recording before?
No, I
Oh
wasn't.
yes.
I just realized that. No, it's okay.
Oh my God.
But I just realized I wasn't recording. Yeah, so we were talking
Okay.
about, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We were talking about the I'm gonna cry right now.
It's normal. Don't worry. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I will do the same. If I were starting the YouTube channel, I will do the same.
Forgot to
So
record.
yeah, you were saying like what kind of things I'm looking for the designers, right? Like
Yeah.
when you hire them.
Mm,
Honesty, transparency, not only in terms of communication and stuff, but also in terms of they need to know, they need to be aware of themselves. They need to know their own skills, right? So for example, when I say to them, can you do this? Most of the people will say yes, and then later they will think, yeah, maybe not so much. So
mm,
this kind of um because we are a small studio and we need to be more efficient. So I think I appreciate when a designer is more honest. So if I ask, for example, can you do this kind of illustration? I prefer an answer, for example, not so much. I haven't done so much this kind of stuff, but I can try. And maybe I need if I normally I need 3 days, I may need 5 days, for example, and maybe you can expect this kind of level, for example. So I really appreciate this, and I think this kind of designers they need to be aware of themselves. Sounds easy, but it's super super hard to get it. I think you need to have somehow experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also hardworking. I think that's okay too. I mean, it's not easy, it's not difficult to get, but yeah, hardworking and super focused because we don't do overtime in our studio. Is something probably um different than other studios, but we try to just focus on work during the work time. So like this, we try not to do overtime. We also speak to the clients, so the clients won't be like, "Hey, Victor, can you do it this for tomorrow?"
No, we can't.
So yeah. So yeah, I mean, at the end, there's some flexibility, but we try to, let's say, we try to say it beforehand, so so like this we can avoid most of this kind of situations. But of course, if there's a big client and they need it for tomorrow, there's other ways to manage this, right? So for example, you can charge an extra fee and stuff, and then this extra fee can go to the team. If the team is willing to do overtime, then okay, and then you say yes to the client. What else? I think in our case is how do you say, design taste. I don't know how to say it, but eye for detail or eye for design. So I think
Had the taste for it.
yeah, the taste, but this is for sure super super subjective, and it depends on each person, each studio, each one. It's super super hard to say if one has good taste or not, right? It's super hard to say. But I think good taste comes from first of all curiosity and know and how to differentiate when it's a bad thing and when it's a good thing. So they need to have somehow like uh the creative mind or something that they know how to research and how to guess, have a gut feeling of how, this is something that works or this is something that doesn't work. So this is really hard, I think, to get. And also in China, it's even harder, I think, because the education normally is like more, more, let's say, straight, or how do you say? They limit your creativity.
Yeah, we don't really
So,
get to create stuff when
yeah,
we're in school.
yeah. So I think this kind of taste and stuff is gained when you compare things, when you research for things and okay, this is good, this is bad, and why this is good, this is bad. You have to see recommendations, reviews, online people talking about this.
I think it's most important is that they're really willing to learn and grow.
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
there are a lot of designers out there, they just want to focus at the moment and they just want to do the design and finish and call it a day. They never go
Mm,
out their way to learn new things and do what's good for them and for the company. But then again, these qualities are, very difficult to identify in the interview, isn't it?
yeah, definitely.
Before we end the call, I want to quickly recap to the bit where I didn't record. Yeah. Right. Let me. Right. So, and you were saying how we should stay consistent and we really need to work hard every day, maybe at least 5 days a week for most people. We shouldn't be stopped doing sales even though we're busy, because we can always manage the project, spread them across, but we should never stop doing sales. And I'm guilty of doing that. Sometimes when I'm really, really busy, I just turn down clients. I will just tell them, I'm
Mm.
sorry, I'm too busy at the moment. I can't do it. But maybe there's a better way to do it. Maybe I can put the projects behind the ones that I have right now, but we shouldn't be too quick to reject new clients. So then we
I
will
mean,
have less
if you have
downtimes.
clients that are already you're talking with clients, yeah, is hard to, I think, to manage. But I think the important thing is when you are busy, you need to do marketing. You try to get new clients because it
Yeah.
will take time. So I think that's important. I think it's not about if the client reach you, but it's more about like getting try to do marketing or try to get new clients. I
Mm.
think that's important when you are busy because then later when you are less busy, that then will come the opportunities.
Yeah. How do you market your company?
We try a lot of things. I think the most important thing we do probably is keep us like top of mind. You know what I mean? Like so for example, try to be present in social media. I think you've
Mm.
seen my WeChat moments,
Yeah.
LinkedIn. So I try to be, let's say, try to post daily about
Mm.
our designs, our process, about our thoughts. So I think top of mind is probably one of the most important things we do.
Mm.
So when you have a network, let's say, and there's some followers or people following you, I think it's super important to keep top of mind. So
Yeah, because
when they need design, they will think, okay, Victor. Yeah.
yeah, I do think about that as well because sometimes I don't use WeChat a lot right now. And sometimes when I open my WeChat moment, I can see you and I know, yeah, if someday in the future I need some design, maybe that's the person I go to because you're here. You're
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
you
yeah.
you live
So
in my
I think
head
that's
right now.
important. Yeah. But I think many designers don't do it. I mean, many designers they have amazing. I mean, you have amazing work, and they don't share enough. I think.
I think
I think that's
for
a
me,
pity.
I share most on Instagram and LinkedIn. I don't really
Okay.
share on WeChat. Maybe I should probably do more because most of my clients are live in China. So yeah, I will try to post more.
But even
I
on
don't know.
LinkedIn, you should share more, like daily a lot,
Yeah,
maybe
daily.
two posts a day or even. But I think that's also a normal issue for many designers, like they don't
Mm,
like to share too much because when we share, I mean, I also have the same struggle. When we share, it's like we are open to judgment, so they will
mm,
judge us. We are scared of judgment. It's like a client, you know.
yeah.
So scared of if people doesn't like it or stuff.
Mm.
So I think that prevents us to share more.
Yeah, because we get really scared
Yeah.
about receiving feedbacks. But for some designers that are just getting started, they might not have many projects to actually share on social media and promote themselves. How do you suggest them to go about that when you don't have any real projects?
Uh, I mean, if you're I mean, if you're just straight from the college, from the university, then I think I would suggest better to start at least working in a studio or something, right? But I think at least you will have something.
Mm,
And if not, at least the process. I mean, you don't need to show. That's the thing. Like most designers, they think they need to show something perfect,
mm,
and maybe just showing the process or your experience during the day, that's
mm,
all. I mean, they don't expect you to be the best agency of the world and stuff. I think you just need to be transparent and just to be yourself. So for example, even me now, I still showing we don't have so much perfect projects, so we still showing processes and studio pictures. So for example, I've seen a lot of designers, they showing their design process, their strategy, doesn't need to have doesn't need to be a finished design. Sometimes it's just, for example, I have a meeting with this client, or I'm just I found these designs really nice. Just can be super, just a collection of designs from other people, or
Mm,
different thoughts from other people. Doesn't
mm.
need to be perfect. So a lot of people will think, "Oh, okay, social media," but the social media is not like a website. Social media is like you're talking to a friend and showing him your thoughts. That's all.
Yeah,
Doesn't need
that's
to be
all.
perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, sharing your thoughts, your design process, something that can show these people who you are and how you do design is equally important as the final work. And maybe also you can try to do like a fake project that can
Yeah,
also be
fake
out there.
project. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, what
Mm,
we do a lot is we take a lot of pictures
mm,
during the design process, and of course we cannot show because it's private, it's still not finished, right? We cannot show
mm,
it, so we will finish the project and then we will show the process, and then so we will show it in like we were starting the project, but we already
mm,
finished, and we
mm,
asked the client for permission. So the people that sees the social media will think that we started the project, but we already finished. So they will see the whole process from the beginning,
to the end.
you know, see the end in probably 1 month, but the project is already launched.
Yeah, yeah, that makes
So
sense.
that's how we can, we because at the end I don't have time to do so much content. So that's the thing. So we do all the process, we take out all the pictures during the design process, and then once finished, we launch it, and maybe we have content for a month.
Mm. Yeah, that's a
Mm.
very good advice. Maybe I should doing that. But I currently have a project that's on hold because they are registering for the trademark for the logo. So I can't really share anything right now. So that's basically just sit in the
Yeah.
closet in the dark. It's gonna be a few months before it can be out in the world. But yeah,
Mhm.
thank you so much for doing this interview with me. It was fun.
Thank,
Except for
thank
the
you.
bit that I
Yeah,
forgot
let
to
me
record.
know. Yeah, no problem. So, but let me know if you need to, I don't know, to record again or to do an additional video or something. Just let me know.
I will break this video down and trim it, make it look good, and then I will send you the link and see how we did the first time.
Okay, okay, cool.
Well, thank you. Have a great evening.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much, Cecilia.
Bye bye.
Okay, take care. Bye bye.